Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm gonna briefly talk about my experiences with Samsung products and my love and hate relationship that I have with them. We're gonna start off with Samsung phones. I have Samsung phones. For me, they last 2 to 3 years, and 2 to 3 years is good enough. So I never had a problem with Samsung phones. The DVD players, when it first came out, man, they either got stuck, it wouldn't eject, it wouldn't turn on. That time it was the Star Wars Phantom Menace era on DVD, and it didn't play correctly or skipped. I thought it was just my device. My friend had the same model DVD players that I had, and his either didn't turn on, or when it did turn on, it wouldn't eject, or it wouldn't play properly, or skipped. All kinds of problems with DVD players. And I do know Samsung, they're pretty much number one in the TVs, electronics area, and they have the lowest percentage of failures. But that doesn't mean that just because the percentage is low, that doesn't mean that they don't have problems. It just means that they sell a lot of units. But that being said, now that made me not want to buy any Blu-ray players. But when the PS3 came out, that was like $600, and the cheapest Blu-ray players at that time was, besides a Sony PlayStation 3, which is $600, was a Samsung $800 player. Everything else was like $1,000. If I wanted to get to see the difference between a PS3 Blu-ray player versus an actual player, which a player is better in a sense if you have the right wires, TV. But yeah, so I gave Samsung another chance with the player, and I bought the Blu-ray $800 player to see the comparison between my PS3 and the Samsung player. And that Samsung player didn't even last me more than 2 years. So I was done with Samsung players. When the Samsung Ultra HD came out, 4K, I was like, forget that, I'll go with a different product. So as far as players, media players goes with Samsung, I will never ever buy a Samsung player anymore. I don't hate them, I just won't do that. Now appliances, refrigerator, washer, refrigerator, dishwasher, the oven, and the microwave, they're older than 7 years and they still work properly. Pretty much the only Samsung product in the United States that I don't own is probably the washer and dryer. Nothing wrong with that. I never own one because I just went with LG or Whirlpool or GE. Now, back in the days when Circuit City existed, Ultimate Electronics, which was Audio King that time, and I went to Best Buy. I like to go to Circuit City a lot, and my very first Samsung TV back at Circuit City days was 46-inch 720p 1080i LCD. I think this brand new, that was roughly $2,500. I got that on sale for $1,700. I picked that up. Beautiful picture. It's beautiful, right? Also, when they had 1080p TVs, I'm like, okay. So they had a 52-inch Samsung LCD on sale for $2,200. I bought that TV. It's not as good as the 720p for some reason, but I guess it depends on the model. But the 720p, that TV for that 46-inch was a lot brighter. But like I said, I guess just it's not about the resolution, it's about the component that's inside it. So I'm like, oh, I'm not satisfied with this 1080p. The 720p looked a lot better than 1080p. So then they had another TV. It was only 46-inch edge lit. It was they had It just came out. It was like 120 hertz for 3,000 and 240 hertz for 4,000. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this $4,000 one, and it was on sale for 3,500. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this 46-inch edge lit Samsung 240 hertz for 3,500. So now I currently, at that time, I owned the 720p 46-inch, the 52-inch LCD, and the 46-inch LED Samsung. All three of those TVs, okay? All three of those TVs. Granted that the 720p is the oldest one. Roughly within 6 years. So within 5 years for the 1080p 52-inch and the 1080p LED edge lit. Within 5 years of that, and within 6 years of the 720p LCD, all three of those TVs pretty much crapped out on me. The 720p one day just decided to have volume but no picture. The 3500 edge lit Samsung, which is the most expensive TV I had at that time, it decided that it was going to turn on and off, turn on and off, turn on and off. So every time you turn it on, it turns off. So was something wrong with the motherboard? I don't know. But I wasn't going to just fix it. I just, you know what, I'm going to just buy another TV. I was disappointed. The 52-inch LCD, that thing, like the color was just like saturated, and it was, I don't know, it was just, it decided to also just decided not to work properly. So I'm just like, forget it. I'm just gonna toss all these three TVs out. For sure, the 720p, I had no choice. That thing just didn't work. They all didn't work properly. So all three of those TVs, scrapped it. So I went with like LGs and Sonys from then. Until the QLED KS8000 65-inch at that time was a really good deal. And I'm like, man, do I dare try Samsung one more time and give them another shot? That TV redeemed itself. That brand, the QLED KS8000 model, I still have it to this day. It's a beautiful model. And that sucker works beautifully. And also the other TV, so besides the three Samsungs that I mentioned, the 720p, the 52-inch, the 46-inch 720p, the 46-inch 1080p, and the 52-inch 1080p, those three TVs was a disappointment. They pretty much crapped out on me. But the Samsung 40-inch 1080p, I still have that. So those I pretty much displayed on here. The TV you guys saw here with it's the 40-inch Samsung and 65-inch 4K. Actually, the 65-inch KS8000, that's a 4K TV. So those are only two Samsungs that I do own currently to this day, and the 40-inch is like 10 years old. But you know, it's like hit and miss with the Samsung products. Even though like the return rate and the failure rate is really low, doesn't mean that their failure rate is not high, right? So that is my experience with the Samsung TVs. So I kind of like, the only time I would buy a Samsung TV is if it is a really good price and really good deal and has the bells and whistles that I need. But as far as like that goes, I wouldn't buy it unless it has all that, like I just mentioned. And yeah, that's kind of like, for a while, you know, I kind of like hated Samsung for like three TVs just crap out on me. But so that's pretty much my love-hate relationship with Samsung. So I mean, at the end of the day, they're just electronics and they're just products. It's just whichever works best for you guys. So yeah, that's my little experience that I had. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hooded Dragons out.
These fucking assholes think they have a chance.